I'm the type of guy who just thinks that charities are the best thing for everybody. I just been like that all my life. I don't know why. I just want to help. I've been a very fortunate man, extremely fortunate in life.
And that brings up our champion, Al Johnson.
Al Johnson from Feeding Hills, Massachusetts. Our defending champion, Al Johnson. High single 197.
He's one of the greats of all time.
And he gets them all.
Our defending champion, Al Johnson, working on a spare in the second, and he's too full on the head pin, but, oh, they eventually all toppled. It looked like he was going to have a split.
The record holder, tenacious competitor.
Very fierce, very intense, and he loved to win.
Well, the history for me was waking up early on Saturday mornings with my parents, and you watched Candlepin bowling. It was like 11 on at 12 noon. And believe it or not, if you look at the stats, it was the most highly rated show ever on Saturday and Sunday, beating like the Red Sox, beating the Bruins and the Celtics combined. Its ratings were extremely, extremely high.
Today, our champion, Tom Osta of Southbridge, Massachusetts, faces the challenge of Alfie Johnson of Feeding Hills, Massachusetts, on Candlepin bowling.
Watching Olsta, the Zernicke brothers, Craig Holbrook, Gary Carrington. These were all Channel 5 guys, or everybody on that tour. 80% of them were on Channel 5. And that's where you wanted to be. That was the biggest thing. I was waiting to bowl on Channel 5, and Gary Carrington was bowling. And I always felt how mean Gary was. His meanness was just his focus. But you didn't know that at the time. That's how he's just focused, and in my view. But his wife had MS, and I didn't know that. And she was sitting in a wheelchair at that thing, and I was like, oh my God, I was wrong, completely wrong about Gary. I could understand him now. So as I drove back, I was with my dad in that one, I believe, and I said, you know, I'm going to do something here. Altogether, we had the news there and things like that, but I had the top 10 U.S. teams, the top bowlers of all time at these events. And it was a ball. And it was all for a great thing. The one year we did it for Peter. Peter got an aneurysm in his head. I forget exactly what it was. It was touch and go, but we took that money that year. I think it was like 6,000 or 8,000, I forget, and Peter got it. So that was the beginning of Candlepins for Cancer, because again, this big problem happened in my life, and I lost my bars and lots of other stuff. Paul Grant changed our game to an extreme extent, at least in my view and in many, many other bowlers' view.
And I met Al Johnson, actually bought the deuce from him. I'm like, this is Al Johnson. I'd heard of him, but I didn't really know who he was. And I said, you Al Johnson? I said, you know, shook my hand. And he said he has a bowling show. I said, well, if you need help, let me know. He goes, I have my own show. I don't need any help. I'm okay. All right, thank you. And never heard from him. And I saw him later on in the year. I said, hey, if you ever need help, let me know. No, I got a show. I'm all set. Okay, no problem. If you ever need help, let me know. No problem at all. So if you need help with the qualifiers, because you have a live show, I'll do your qualifiers if you want, if you need help. Dismissed it. Okay, no problem. Never heard from him for months. Next March or April, I get a phone call one day, several months later on. Hey, Paul, Peter Flynn and Chris Sargent are bowling in the Candlepins Cancer Roll-Off at Extra Lanes. Can you come down and record it? Sure, what do I got to do? So I come down there, joking on. And Al's talking about this charity. I had no clue he was talking about Ocean Gaming and what are you talking about? I just ran with it. And after that, I realized, okay, what's going on? I got more information about it, and I found out about it, and I started doing some research. And I said, okay, let me get behind this.
Paul has brought in Candlepins for Cancer to somewhere I could never have ever thought about it. I mean, he really exists. We got Greg Gouillard now, and Greg is fantastic. His voice is fantastic on the things. They go everywhere.
With Candlepins for Cancer, I do the live shows, I do commentary for the live shows, I do the technical production for the live shows, which has evolved over many, many months and years now of Candlepins for Cancer's support and promoting the game. Bob Lee, I will be forever thankful to that man for, frankly, giving me the opportunity to do this. Maybe I would have gotten it in some other way, but he was the one who believed in me in the first place when he started the so-called Spread Eagle Productions over 5,000 subscribers ago, or however many, and I just commented on one of his broadcasts.
Greg is, I think everybody has a spot to say, oh, that doesn't apply to Greg, you know. If they're upset about anything that we've ever produced, it's me, it's Paul, it's you know, one of the amateur productions that we do. He is a consummate professional. Paul and Greg are going out and throwing 4 or 5 ladders a year.
Cancer affected me, and that's actually really what happened. I was, like I said, I was in bed for a month after that, and I was 119 pounds and things like that, and I just wanted to help pay back, you know, because I actually survived. My father died of cancer in 2019. We weren't close growing up. The only thing we had in common was sports, Candlepin bowling, sports. But other than that, we weren't close. We got close the last few years, obviously. When he lost his his wife died, my mother died 40 years ago. But in between, the other girlfriends that died of cancer, and that really impacted him. He was kind of lonely, and I felt like here's my time to step in and be a good son. And that's when we started the relationship, really bonded. It got really good. And we joke with each other all the time. He likes Boston College, I like Nebraska Cornhuskers, so I always call him up, hey, Nebraska won, you know. And I call him like 1 o'clock in the morning, wake him up and tease him and harass him, and good fun. So we had a good banter going on. It was a good relationship at the end, the last 10 years or so, which was great.
My late mother, in fact, even though cancer wasn't ultimately what took her in the end, about a few years ago in 2018, she had multiple diagnoses, in fact, and non-Hodgkin's lymphoma, breast cancer, maybe even one other. I confess it's actually blurry to me. Somehow, maybe I'm a bit embarrassed to say that, but I don't know all the history about that.
Unfortunately, I've been right in the middle of my wife's brother passed away just a couple of years ago, and she then was diagnosed with stage 4 colon cancer. So for the last 6 months ago, she also passed away. And the experience, it's probably not news to anyone, but when
when a money earner gets cancer, they can't work. They can't work like they used to. When the person who pays the bills is lying on the bed, then someone else has to pay the bills, and they don't have their income to help out. And it just seems like everything's unfair. Nothing's going your way. It's like getting a spread eagle in Candlepin terms. It's about cherry picking a 2-pinner. It's like, why I did everything right. Why is this hitting me? And having gone through that, gone through the financial woes and the torments of cancer, I can tell you that even if it wasn't, if there was no money involved, just knowing that there were people out there that cared about you, and they come up to you and give you a hug and give a little bit of money, put $1 in a bin in honor of your wife. That's a big, that does mean a lot to me.
Hello and welcome to Candlepins for Cancer, live from Big 20 Bowling Center in Scarborough, Maine, raising money for bowlers and families in the fight against the costs of this terrible disease. Donate or take part.
Paul came up with this idea that to create all these tournaments where we sponsor. Now we're becoming exactly what I talked about earlier. We're having a charity sponsor, whereas these big golf tournaments and so on and so forth have charity sponsor these tournaments, and then they raise money during it. And Paul has become a genius at this.
So it's anybody can bowl 2 men or 2 women, 1 man and 1 woman. You can register for the roll-offs when you do them. And it's 90% handicap based on your winter average this year. And you bowl 5-string qualifier, and the top 5 make a live show. And the live show happens, a month later on, usually, typically. And the top 5 doubles scores won the top 5 show, and they compete for prize money. And people have won $1,300, $1,500, $1,000, down to $200, $300.
We've done, of course, our live shows, our stepladder shows. You name it, we've done it. Men's, women's, mixed doubles, any doubles. And we also do a lot of special shows as well. For example, we just did a 5-string women's roll-off earlier in the season. And then coming up, we'll be doing another live show at Riverwalk Lanes, Amesbury. We'll be doing a 10-stringer, our first one, at Rollaway Ware as well.
We also have regional events in Western Massachusetts and in Maine, Sanford, Big 20, and throughout Exeter, Spare Time. We've had events throughout Massachusetts.
Ever since we've had the privilege of being able to do the show, the atmosphere has really become colorful and lively, and that started way back when we first had the opportunities to do these shows at Bowlerama Portsmouth. And that's a brightly lit bowling center, for example. You got the pub right there so fans can get refreshments as well.
So I called up a friend of mine who owns Portsmouth Bowlodrome, Bart Maduros, and he was with Academy Lanes where I threw my 15-25. And so I called him up because I was bowling at his house, and he was happy to see me there. And I told him what I had going on, and I said, I want to do something live instead of these tapings. They just take too long and nobody's interested. He said, Alf, just come up, we'll sit down, we'll figure it out. He's the best man on the planet. Him and his whole staff, but mainly him.
The NA doubles a Big 20 in Scarborough, Maine, Route 1. The Mike Walker and his mother Leslie worked tireless hours.
I hope they keep doing events like this so that they can keep raising money for future donations, so they can help more people and more families in the future, more families like mine.
The people that go out of their way to do this, Mike here at the Big 20, all the other bowling alleys, all the bowlers all over New England, it makes me so proud.
I think it's absolutely amazing. It's so much fun. It's an absolute blast. You come out, you donate. It's either you donate or you can have fun.
We see an event for Candlepins for Cancer. We try to attend, and if we can't, Mike Walker here at the Big 20 has a Candlepins for Cancer donation bucket, and you know, when we can, we'll throw extra money in there.
I love the Big 20. We used to live up here, Bold here. Love Candlepins for Cancer. We try to do all the events. The better we do, the more we give back, because every time we have a chance and we can, you know, today we give back $200. We give back, I think we've given back $600 or $700 in all their events so far. Just we love what they do and we love bowling in them.
Well, Paul has done an amazing job promoting this sport and this game and this tournament, and we are excited to be part of it. And we've had a couple here, and we've had a great success, and they're raising a lot of money.
I love Paul, I love Al. Like, every time they come here, he walks to the door, we're all smiles because he brings a different energy to our building.
My mother has breast cancer and she's been struggling with it for a very long time. And through this organization, she's received some help, and it helped her get to and from her appointments with a little bit extra funding for some gas, because it was a long way for her to travel for some of her appointments, some of her more specialty appointments.
I was diagnosed in 2008 with multiple myeloma. It's in the leukemia family. Routine fire department physical. They figured it went undiagnosed for 4 years. I had a stem cell transplant in 2009, and then I was in remission for 14 years, I believe. Revlimid, which was the chemo that I was taking, finally stopped working last year. I am now on my second regimen.
I've had so many family members that have had cancer, unfortunately, and have passed. We just recently lost 2 years ago my grandfather to cancer. So doing this show and everything, and doing the competitions, and just doing the charity and everything, it means so much to us and so much to my family.
I want to thank Candlepins for Cancer for helping me out in a time of need when I was diagnosed last year with uterine cancer. It was stage 1, but it was at a very aggressive stage, and I had surgery for that, and then I had 6 treatments of chemotherapy, followed by 25 treatments, 5 days a week for 5 weeks of radiation therapy. And I went just a few weeks ago for one of my 3-month follow-ups, and still so far so good, cancer-free.
To me, it hasn't sunk home yet. I know it's there. I see it, but it's like it hasn't sunk home yet. It's like I can't believe we raised that much money, and got that much money raised to help families out. And I know a lot of people have gotten these checks personally. They're touched by it, and that makes me feel really good.
I think Candlepin Bowling has to stay alive, and it's going to have its favorite charities. And I would like to see Candlepins for Cancer be the favorite charity of many people in the community, because we are what we say we are. We're helping out your family at the worst time, the time when every time you go to the mailbox, you come back with 3 bills and more bad news. Well, at least sometimes, at least once in that process, there's a check for $500 for you to spend, whether it's on getting lab tests and your copay, or taking your daughter out to dinner to talk about your wife's sickness. When you felt like when your bank account was down to 0, that's what it's about. It's kind of like the Aflac for Candlepin families that are going through cancer.
I never really counted them. I don't ask questions. The biggest thing about this charity is there is not one question. Like, hey, Al, can you help me with this? Address is all I say. Address, please, name, and that's all I want. That's all we ever ask. Paul and I have decided on that. I'm not going to make decisions on do you have cancer or blah, blah, blah. It's just not going to happen. If you come up to me and tell me, do this, we're going to do it. I'm going to show you guys kind of exactly how this works. It's very, very simple. We just write a check to any Candlepin bowler or Candlepin bowling family member. It's mainly always $500 at a time. And don't mind my messy car. I do a lot of driving. But we got the checkbooks. And that's normally why I keep one in the car. Just in case we're at a bowling alley and somebody wants, they ask me, and I like to get it done immediately as fast as possible. Normally there isn't any wait at all to get a check. You can either get a hold of me or get a hold of Paul Grant or even yourself. And once we get that message, we send it out within a day. The money is usually in buckets. We get donations from some companies, and that's mainly what we're trying to get more of, because we cover so much of New England. We're doing parts of Canada. We send money to, and then Maine, New Hampshire, Vermont, and Massachusetts. It's all New England. And, it's just something that I came up with years ago, and to help, it's a two-tier thing. It's helping people in our community to get through some tough times, and the other one is promote our Candlepin game. And we're at Academy Lanes in Haverhill, Mass. I love this house. I actually won a couple of 10-stringers here, so to me it's one of my favorite houses. That was a long time ago when I was pretty good, but now I just come here and I just have a good time. I love bowling. It's the game that I love, and the owner here has always taken care of our Candlepin bowlers, always done things about benefits, always taken care of our pros, and we're treated really, real well. And it's one of my favorite places to bowl.
Well, I just, right from the very beginning of how Paul came up with this and Al and all the great things that they've done, raising money for the Candlepin people and struggles with cancer. It hits pretty much most every household some way, including mine. My son's daughter, my granddaughter, battling leukemia as it is right now, and first thing they did was stepped up and helped out him, when she was diagnosed 2 years ago. Just over 2 years now, she's almost done. And we appreciate all the work that they have been doing, since the beginning. This idea was a great idea that I believe Al came up with.
I want to thank Pat McCauley, Sawyer's Bowlodrome, for helping out Candlepin for Cancer. We got a check during the money during the Pro Series. I don't know what was in there yet. I was too busy the last few days streaming to count, so here's what they gave us. This is our donation bucket. We put in different bowling centers. I bring this one around wherever I stream live. All your lemon drops, past, present, future, put in the bucket. We help families. We help bowling centers. We help run tournaments to make money for the charity. Help people make money, make the centers make more money. That's it in a nutshell.
The work that we're doing is surreal to me. The people come up and thank you. The people come up and say things. It's a couple times you cry.
A bunch of bowlers gave some money back, so thank you very much to all you folks helping out. Candlepins #4 at cancer.com. We help bowlers promote their cancer treatments. We promote Candlepin tournaments. Like United Way to sponsor our charity to make more money back. We give money back to the tournament, so the centers make money, the bowlers make money, and the charity makes money. A winning combination for all three. Thank you for your support.
I really appreciate the work that they do, and will continue to do, and I'll continue to bowl in as many events that I possibly can in order to support the cause.
It's nice to be able to at least offer some comfort, some support. And as a bowling alley owner, that's a vehicle that Al has established.
If you can't get down to an event, just go to their website, candlepins4cancer.com, and make an online donation.
No questions asked.